Hi, welcome to this Excel tutorial video, and today I'm going to show you, this video is about Excel VBA, and I'm going to show you how to write some simple code that will create you worksheets, and also a bit of code that will delete worksheets. Now this video assumes you have some sort of knowledge of VBA. It's not an introduction to VBA. I've done videos on that previously, which I will put links to in the description. So if you don't know what VBA is, then please don't go straight into this video. Look at some previous ones. So what I've got on screen here is a worksheet called main sheet. It's got a header here in A1 called sheets, and I've got 5 cells with colours in. I mean, there could be anything. But what I want to do, the purpose of this tutorial is I'm going to create worksheets for each of the entries below this sheet's header. So to begin, let's go to the developer tab and click on Visual Basic, and we get our Visual Basic window, and we're going to click on this little drop down here and choose new module. Here's our new module, and we get our VBA window to the right. This is where we're going to write our script. So first of all, we're going to write the script to create the sheets. I'm going to just write the script out as I go, and I'll explain what each of the elements is doing as I write them. So first of all, we're going to create a new procedure, and we're going to call it create sheets. And at the very top, I'm going to make sure that when we execute our code, that we execute it from the main sheet. That's where everything should begin from, because that's where our data is with the names of the sheets we want to create. So we do this, type sheets, then in brackets and double quotes we type the name of our sheet, and we choose select. That will ensure when this runs it goes to the main sheet. Now I'm going to create 2 variables, iRow as an integer and sCell as a string, and I'm going to give iRow a value of 2. And I'm going to, right at the very beginning, we want to create the first sheet, which is blue, then pink, then red. So we want to begin at A2. So what we need to say at the very outset here is we need to select A2. So we say range, then brackets, double quotes, A, and then the and sign and iRow, which is currently 2, dot select. And that will just select A2 for us in this case, because iRow is 2. Then we need to create a loop, and we're going to loop through each of these values. We're going to go start at A2, A3, A4 until we get to an empty cell. So this loop that we're going to choose is the do while loop, and we're going to say do while active cell dot value does not equal an empty string. And down here I'm going to put a loop, and what this will do is while this value, this entry here is true, it will run the code between this do while and the loop. So the first thing we want to do is we want to populate our variable cell, and we're going to say the value is the active cell dot value. And we need to do that because when we create our new worksheet, we're no longer going to be on the main sheet, we're going to be on a new worksheet. So we need, if we're going to name this thing blue, we need to make sure that we store the word blue or whatever's in here in a variable so we can use it later. Then we say sheets.add, then put a space, and then it says when, before or after, or so we want to say after and colon equals active sheet. So it's going to create it after main sheet at the minute. Then we're going to say, so what that line will do is it will create a new sheet after main sheet. So now we need to rename that sheet. So we need to say active sheet dot name equals sCell. Then that's it, we've created blue. We need to then go back to main sheet. So we need to do this piece of code again. I'll just copy it. So we're back in here. Then we need to go down to pink. So in order to do that, we need to say, okay, iRow equals iRow plus 1. So in this case, it will go from 2 to 3. And then if I just copy this for the purpose of speed, we select the next cell, and it will do this until it gets to A7, which is blank, and it'll say, oh, I'm in a blank cell, I can't do any more. So let's just prove this, shall we? If I just highlight this here, put a breakpoint in, execute this, and as I tap through, you can see that blue is now highlighted. If I go to here, we've created blue as a new sheet. We go back to main sheet, we drop down to pink, we continue, and we create pink, then we create red, then we create orange, then we create brown, and then we that was unexpected. Let me delete that. If I don't want to delete all of those, let me try that again, because that's a little bit unusual. I'm going to use this. I'm going to highlight this and put it as a watch. So what you can do is you can right click a particular value and add it to watch, and it appears at the bottom here. So right now our active cell is, the value is blue. So as I tick through here, it's gone to pink, it's gone to orange, it's gone to brown. So now it should, that's an empty. Oh, how very strange. Okay, must be some sort of blip. So that's worked, and it's worked fine. Now let us create another procedure that will delete those sheets. So we're going to call it sub delete sheets. Now I'm going to create it first of all. There's an extra step that we need to include when we're deleting sheets. When you try and delete a sheet, as you saw here, you get a message saying, are you sure you want to delete that sheet? So that's fine. I want to keep that for now, but we're going to get rid of it in a second as well. So first of all, let's begin by declaring a couple of variables. Both of them are numbers. iSheet as integer, comma, iCount as integer. Then we're going to give iCount a value equals sheets.count. So that's going to be, in this case, 5. Then we're going to use a different loop this time. We're going to use a for loop, because we're going to use numbers to kind of iterate through our loop. So we're going to say for iSheet equals iCount, which is 5, to 1. And then we say step minus 1. So what that's going to do is it's going to start at 5, and it's going to go all the way down to 1, iterating backward one at a time, this minus 1. And then we say next iSheet, and it's going to run the code that's between the for and the next. And the code is nice and simple. We say, well, first of all, we don't want to delete main sheet. So we say if sheets iSheet dot name does not equal main sheet, then sheets dot iSheet dot delete end if. So sheets.iSheet. So we've got 5 sheets. They are numbered within Excel. So we've got 5 sheets. We can reference them by their number. So we can just say go from 5 to 1. Tell me what each of them is called, and if they're not called main sheet, delete them. So this should work, he says, hopefully. If I run this, there's a message. This will get deleted. Are you sure? Yep. Yep. You can see them get deleted one at a time. And we're back to main sheet. So it deletes them, that's fine. What we actually want to do is we don't want to see those error messages. We want it just to get deleted. So if I were to say application.display alerts equals false, and then at the end of here, put it back, application.display alerts equals true. Now I should, hopefully without any funny gremlins, I should be able to run this to create there's all of those, and then I should be able to run this to delete them. And if I just, for the sake of make it a little bit easier, if I go to if I insert a shape, and I'm going to do this bevel shape here, I'm going to create this here. I'm going to do the same. Go to insert shape. I'm going to create a second one. And what we can do is we can assign macros or procedures to these things. So we can say this one's going to be create sheets, and I'm going to edit the text and say create. This one, edit the text and say delete, and assign a macro which is the delete sheets. Now I'm going to add white, black. So if I click create, it creates me all of my sheets. If I click delete, deletes all my sheets. That's the end of this tutorial. I hope you found it helpful. Any questions or queries, please leave them in the comments and I'll reply as soon as I can. Thanks a lot for your time. See you next time.